have more than a voice.
High Court in Kano temporarily.
The conversation just continued in the studio because there's a lot to talk about, really.
Exactly.
There's a lot to talk about on this insecurity and the Chibok girls and every other thing. There's a lot. Unfortunately, we cannot continue the conversation because of time.
Yeah.
The program is, structured into segments. So let's get into another talking point now.
All right, a federal high court in Kano temporarily halted the suspension of Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the national chairman of the APC, by his word. The court issued the order following an ex parte motion filed by Ganduje, citing his right to fair hearing. A respondent include the police, DSS, NSCDC, and 9 others. Ganduje's suspension by the APC executive in Dawakin Ward and the Tofa local government area of Kano State was nullified by the State Working Committee. However, a Kano State High Court judge upheld the suspension. In the recent ruling, Justice Mohammed Liman ordered a halt to the suspension implementation until the case is heard. And this particular case is scheduled to take place on the 30th of April. All right, we have still with us in the studio, Barrister Darlington Agumo. And joining us virtually, we have Mr. Chukuma Okoro, who is a journalist and a public affairs commentator. And now I'll start with you, Barrister, since this has to do with court matters, legal issues. What do you make of this? First, a court in Kano State actually upheld, the suspension of the former governor of Kano State, Umar Ganduje. And now another high court in Kano is of the opinion that, no, we have to halt this issue of suspension until it's being given access to fair hearing.
It is unfortunate what these politicians are doing with our courts. Very, very unfortunate, seriously. I don't see why they should drag the courts into their problem. Now, the courts are no longer independent. Right. They are not. They are now down to the tune of the state governor, if it is state high court. Because I don't see why a court will say this is the right thing to do. Then, because you don't want to obey the court, you now run to another court somewhere, a federal high court, who will now give you a soft landing. It is wrong. I don't know what the NJC are doing about this. Because under normal circumstances, it is the word of any member of any political party that's supposed to sanction you. If they don't want to, it is from the word. Remember Oshomole? Yeah. He went through the same treatment in Edo State.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
It's from the word. It's from the word. So instead of you now to say, okay, how do we solve the problem from the word level? You now say because you have the federal mic, you now run to federal high court.
But the court was of the opinion that he has not been given access to fair hearing before.
Did he answer them when he was called? He was feeling too big. He was feeling too big, just like most of them do. When they will invite them, you say, how can I come and answer a word when I'm the national chairman of a political party? And he believed that his party will protect him.
Talking about being too big, he actually made mention of this. He says that it is only the Attorney General of the Federation that can call him in for questioning. And what does that actually speak?
You can imagine. So what are you now saying? What are you saying? And to tell you the illegality that is playing out here, instead of the party to look at the issues that made the world to say, no, you have been suspended. They are now saying that the people that suspended him, they are not even the members of APC. And now you are suspending them. How do you suspend somebody who is not your member? Can you imagine illegality on display here from right, left, and center? All because of what? Power.
Barrister, what would you attribute to our political allies not obeying court orders? Because this is one too many.
I'm telling you. It's very, very annoying. It's like we are just there. A whole judge, a whole high court judge will give order. Everybody will just ignore him. Throughout Buhari's period, he never obeyed one court order, one like this.
Does this mean that the judicial system in Nigeria has failed to this point?
It's very embarrassing. I don't know how to explain it. Look at United Kingdom. If Ekweremadu were to be in Nigeria, he wouldn't have even gone to any police station, not to talk of going to prison. And it can never happen. It can never happen. But look at him in there. Did he not humble himself to serve his term?
All right.
Eh? We don't copy good things. How can you grow a society when laws are being disobeyed by the higher mountain? How? Okay. We are not moving forward. They just mess up our court. Is that we are just wasting your time. You go and struggle to get a court order, get a court judgment, and nobody will obey.
All
then
right,
what have
Mr.
you done?
Mr. Chikuma Okoro, do you also share the same idea that, all right, we just told that a network glitch actually took him out again. All right, now back to you, Barrister Darlington Agumo. This is not the first time such an issue is playing out in Nigeria government and even the judicial system too. And now it's becoming like like many cases.
It's the norm now. It's the norm.
So now, what do you have to say about this? Because it's more like the judicial system now is losing the taste, or what made them to be on their own.
We have lost it. Seriously, we have. Seriously, it's an embarrassment. Seriously, we have lost it.
So what do you suggest they do?
I suggest that any court judgment that is not being obeyed by any of the governors or the president that the court should go on strike. They should not entertain any matter that comes from either that state or the federal government. That is the only way they can show their grievances. They should just, anytime any matter has to do with it, they should shoot it down. I'm telling you. That is the only way they will now make them to sit up and be serious. But if they continue to be in bed with them, they will say, don't mind, this is not all the judges. We just give them a few notes, they will do our bidding. And by that, you are destroying our legal system. It has lost its bite. Nothing. Eh? The judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Where is it now? Where?
No longer the last hope. Doesn't seem to be the last hope of the
That is why people are taking laws into their hand now. Because when you say court, which court? Even if you are a lawyer, they say which lawyer. Don't bother they follow them, do what they are doing. You know that kind of nonsense. Eh? We are no longer worth anything. And the judges are there, they are watching all these things. Are you telling me they don't know what to do to at least bring sanity into the judicial system? You said what?
What can they do?
I've told you here, let them go on a protest. It doesn't require carrying placard. Any matter that has to do, they will shoot it down until they obey the order given by the court. Let them start doing it like that.
Do you think that will hold water, given the fact that the Attorney General of the Federation actually, okay, let's look at it this way. Let's not be that I'm the one actually pushing it forward. How, as a lawyer now, the processes of getting Attorney General of the Federation, is it actually in line with what let's say the Constitution says?
We should separate the Minister of Justice from Attorney General. These are two portfolios. Okay. You should separate it. That is where this corruption comes in. You cannot be defending the government even when they are wrong. You're supposed to separate this particular office. This one is supposed to be interfacing with the public. Why this one will be doing the administrative work in the office? That is how it's supposed to be. When you have barrister and solicitor. In the UK, you cannot be barrister and solicitor. You don't do it. You cannot do it that way. You only be a barrister when you want to go to court. The solicitor do the legal research, all this administrative thing and all that. But here it is not like that. So we should separate that office. That is where this infamy, this corruption is coming in. When one man is carrying two portfolios that he's not supposed to carry, it's wrong. When we separate it, then we now know whom to interface with. He's the one to advise the government on legal issues. But now, when you have the legal issues combined with political issues, you don't know which one to follow. Okay,
now there are fingers pointing at the presidency. Okay, I think I'll just throw this question to Chikuma Okoro, who has rejoined the conversation. Now, welcome back. Now, there are accusation fingers pointing at the presidency now for the travails of Ganduje, with some people saying, look, it is the presidency. The president's, some people within the presidency want him out of the APC. They want to ridicule him. How do you react to that?
Well, Moses, everything is in the play of politics. You know, if it is in the play of politics, I won't be surprised if some people are thinking in that direction, because we have seen it happen several times. You know, during Obasanjo's tenure, he had Audu left, Barnabas Gemade left. A couple of them, you know, that he didn't want had to leave office, you know, because these things happen when political calculations, you know, come against the person in office. And in this case, Ganduje. If the president wants Ganduje to leave, he could be the one orchestrating this, you know, not just the president. If some powerful people, you know, within the government are no longer interested in having Ganduje as the national chairman of APC, they could come from that angle, because they already know that Ganduje has questions to answer. I mean, that case of stuffing dollar, you know, inside his Babariga, and the thing was, the expose itself, the sting operation is shameful, is very embarrassing, to the point that in all of this, a political party that is adept at fighting corruption still has this man as this, and he's trying to evade justice by using technicalities in the law, you know, by using his position at the federal level to use the state working committee, you know, to invalidate the suspension that was given to him by the what level. But I'm happy that the issue is in court now. Let us see how it pans out in the court. But politically, and looking at Nigeria as a country, I think Ganduje has a moral burden on himself. If I were him, I would recuse myself from that position. Because, look, a forensic report has said that the video in question was actually you, that it is you. And why are you trying so hard to stop this investigation at the state level? Meanwhile, the State Anti-Corruption Commission has said that, look, we have the right to investigate and judge this matter because it was committed within our jurisdiction. So all of these are, if you look at what is happening, it might not be far-fetched, you know, if people insinuate that, look, there is a hand of some people, some powerful people that are involved. Of course, it is not strange because these things happen. Right. You know, maybe they probably want to put their own people.
Okay.
But in all of this, what this case tells me, Moses, please let me just say one thing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said this is a moral burden, not just on Ganduje himself, but on the presidency. If you factor what happened 2 or 3 days ago in Abuja and in Kogi State, where the sitting governor is trying to, or has prevented EFCC from arresting the immediate past governor of Kogi State. And I sound this note of warning to the EFCC. If they let this matter slip through their fingers, they will have very difficult times in getting judgment, even as a small case as all these Yahoo boys. Because what it will tell Nigerians and every other person is that, look, some people are above the law. But I'm happy they have gone to the extent of saying if it involves the military, using the military to infiltrate and extract the Ayabelo, we are going to do that.
All right then. All right then. No. Let's consider that your concluding thoughts on this. Is that okay?
Moses, you are pressed to time. There's so much to be said, so let's take it as my concluding thought.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But to add to what is being said here, the major reason why Ganduje is going through this as the national chairman of APC is because he has lost his electoral value. Remember that APC lost Kano.
Yes.
They lost Kaduna, being Rufai state. They lost even Katsina.
So he didn't deliver.
They did deliver.
They deliver. Okay.
So why they have lost electoral vote, and that's what Tinubu is looking at. He wants to put somebody there who will watch his back. It's as simple as that. If not, what is it? Remember that this matter have died already. This matter have died under Buhari. Why do you think they resuscitated it? Tinubu would have called them and said, come on, let's talk about this thing. Oh. If he's not interested. But because Ganduje have lost whatever, upon that he has so many corruption cases on his head. So why would you carry such a baggage? That's why even the Attorney General is all of them are looking the other side.
But Barrister, don't you actually think that the NNPP, who happen to be or what happened to be the ruling party in Kano State, actually are doing their job? Because we could recall that the president appointed Ganduje's son, to step in and be the one now manning the rural electricity program. So
it just look that appointment is just to massage his ego. Ganduje as a person have lost it. That is why he's going through this. Like I told you, this matter was already dead. Ask yourself, why did they resuscitate it? I'm sure Tinubu would have said, look, slow down. And I know they would have listened to it, especially through Kwakwanso. He would have called Kwakwanso, don't go further. I mean, you remember what happened in Rivers? Because he's interested in Wike's electoral value in Rivers State. Look at what he did. Not to talk of his own party chairman. So these are the things that politicians are looking at, your electoral value.
All right.
Can you deliver? If you can deliver, if you like commit murder, they will close it. They will, in fact, they will, yes, now.
Okay.
Oshomole said it. Oshomole said it.
That your sins are forgiven.
When you come over, yes, that's it. So that is the major reason here, nothing else. Even Rufai, that's what he's suffering. He didn't deliver Kaduna. He didn't deliver Kaduna. So what is he making us?
Adamu also did not deliver
so all those people,
but they didn't face orders. But
it depends on what your level of commitment to.
All right.
These are swing states. Kano, Katsina, Kaduna, they are swing states in the north. If you're a politician, you didn't get those states, your chances are very slim.
All right, Barrister Darlington Agomo, thank you very much for your thoughts.
Thank you.
We must say a very big thank you also to Chukwuma Okoro, who is a journalist and a public affairs commentator. We thank you very much for your thoughts as well. I do understand that there's a lot to talk about, but we don't have enough time within the show to talk about everything. Well, thank you for always obliging to be here.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thank you, Moses.
Yes, thank you. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll be going into other aspects of the show, business, entertainment, and sports. Stay with us.